Hey there friends, it's Kate and welcome back to my channel, Golden State Educate. I am a third year second grade teacher here in Northern California and welcome to another day in my life. Last week, if you didn't already see it, I filmed a plan with me video. So it was how I lesson plan for an entire week of school, how we make all of this happen in my second grade classroom, and just like how I systematically go about making sure everything is done for the week. And then the goal was to record a vlog of this whole week, like a weekly vlog of all of those things happening like in action. But then you guys, this week has just been a series of events, just one thing after the other. So I tried to film throughout this week and it just kind of didn't really come to anything. So I figured I would film just a daily vlog today of what we're doing today. Sprinkle in some clips that I got from other parts in the week just to kind of show you like how we got to this point. But luckily, if you watch that planning vlog, you'll see everything that we did, just not really like actively in action. We're doing a super fun craft today. We're gonna keep working on our group projects, which is our habitat posters. We've been doing that all week and it's been so fun watching them like collaborate and work together. And then we're also learning about a new influential figure because we're learning about biographies. So we are doing children's authors, famous children's authors. Hopefully they earn a free choice by the end of the day. So that way we can all get some free choice time. We have, I don't know if you can see it, we need one more letter to get we make good choices and then they'll get free choice. So fingers crossed we can make that happen. But yeah, if you aren't already, please make sure to hit the red button down below and subscribe to my channel. Like this video if you like it and leave a comment down below what videos you're hoping to see from me this year. I know the daily vlogs and the weekly vlogs are really popular, but I would like to try to mix in some other things to see what you guys want. So we started our new math unit this week, which is all about arrays and repeated addition to have like a foundation of multiplication. So this has been so nice, such a nice change from doing adding and subtracting with regrouping. Looking at your partner, your whole body is facing your partner. All right, if you are apple, let's do it one more time. Column, row. So if you're doing different things with your arms, you're not right. Row. Oh. No. Column. Row. If you are apple, you're going to say it. The other person is going to do it. Okay, I'm gonna ask you. Yeah, that was good. Oh, whoa. In a calm way. An array is a group of columns and rows. Columns and rows. They're gonna be super cute, yes. All right, here's mine. So cute. Here is my little candy heart array. You have definitely more space to do more, but I didn't want to use up all of the hearts. So I did 3 rows, 1, 2, 3 rows, because rows go left to right. I made 4 columns because the columns go up and down. Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. My repeated addition sentence was 4 plus 4 plus 4. And my multiplication sentence was 3 times 4 because I wrote the number 4 3 times. Okay, so we are going to make these cutie little candy hearts and they're going to go on our back wall. But as we know, we're going to go slow. So that way it doesn't get messed up or ruined or wrong. Because what's the point of doing a math craft if the math is wrong? Nothing. There's no point in doing that. All right, so we just finished our candy hearts project. It turned out so cute. And what I've learned with math crafts is in order to make sure that they actually look good and they look right and nothing, you know, what's the point of doing a math craft if they're not even going to practice it like in the correct way? So I always have them map it out on their whiteboards first and like make the plan. So on their whiteboards, I had them plan out with circles, like what they wanted their array to look like. And then I had them practice writing how many rows, how many columns, the addition sentence and the multiplication sentence. And in order to actually start picking out the colors of hearts that they wanted, their ticket was me looking at their whiteboard and saying, yes, that's all correct. Once I said, yes, that's all correct, they actually wrote it, and then they got to go pick their candy hearts. And I'm really glad that I did that because it just ensured that like my kids who go super fast actually did it correctly. And they all look really cute. I tried to mix it up as much as possible because, you know, not everybody loves like a heart Valentine's Day kind of craft, but I told them there's really only 1 month of the year where we do cute heart related activities. And this is it. I tried to do as many different colors to kind of mix it up for them as much as possible. But it was actually really fun, and I'm glad that we did this. This friend went hardcore. She filled up her whole thing, which is great. And we quickly realized that pretty much the most that they could fit was about 25, but they weren't gonna cut out 25 hearts. So I kind of scaled it down. When I printed this resource off this morning, I scaled it at 90% instead of 100, just so that way everything kind of fit a little bit more nicely. It was easier for my little 2nd grade fingers. This week we are working on our posters. We started learning about habitats last week, and this is our first group project that we've done. So I've tried to be very intentional about introducing it to my class. Last year when we did this, I was like, you've done this before, right? And none of them had. They also were distance learning for 1st grade, so I don't know what I was thinking. I learned so much last year. So I made an example. This is my desert poster, and we had a whole lesson this week about like what it should look like, and I showed them my class from last year's and just kind of talked about like what happened with the group last year and how to actually make a poster that is concise. We don't need to have too many words, we don't need to have too many pictures, like a good mix of eye-catching and also informative. So this went really well. We're going to work on this a little bit later today and just see what they can get done. About this poster. It says welcome to the desert in big letters, but does it still look pretty organized? Yeah. I didn't make my writing take up the whole place, the whole poster. There are realistic pictures. I had to draw them, but they still look pretty realistic. What else do we notice? If you look at it, I have sections that talk about different things in each section. So this is what it looks like. This is the plants and the animals, and then some fun facts. I organized it so that way there's different sections to talk about different things.
Then you didn't like put like pandas live in the desert. You actually like researched how what like real things live, or like how the desert really looks.
I love that. So I love elephants, right? Elephants are my favorite animal, but I didn't draw a picture of an elephant. I drew a picture of a snake and a camel because they have those in the desert. Did I draw every single animal that I talked about? No, I just drew the 2 that I felt like I already knew how to draw. Right, like I would have called it sand or hills or water, but I talked about dunes and the oasis because those are actually vocabulary words that I talked about down here. I said an oasis supplies fresh water in a desert. So let's look at the ones that my class did last year. Okay, so we're not going to focus on if we know these people or not, but this is what they did for their poster. How do we feel about this poster? What do we notice about it? What do you think happened down here? What do we think happened down there? But what's the problem with this area? It's too small. So what they did is they drew the plants and they drew the shape and then didn't really have a lot of space to write the words. So if we draw a circle before we draw the stuff inside the circle, it might look squished and small. This one is very different. It looks cool, but this is the tundra group.
The problem is that they did all of it pink and all colors of the rainbow, but actually tundra looks different.
So the tundra is made up of snow and ice.
And like there's some plants growing.
And there's some plants, but does the tundra look like a rainbow through it? No. So it's super cool. It looks cool. It's definitely interesting, but it's not really true. All right, friends, it is the end of the day. It was a quick turn of events at the end of the day. I feel like some of my class, it's halfway through the year, we still have 75 days left, and some of them have started like reverting back to like their beginning of the year second grader behaviors. And we've had to have a lot of conversations about like third grade preparedness, getting ready for third grade, and like this is not how we act. And like we've come so far, why are we starting to do that again? So hopefully that's not an indication of what next week is going to be like. Hopefully it was just a one-time thing for some of our friends. But needless to say, we had a pretty good afternoon. We came back from lunch and did our reading activity. So earlier in the week, we did biographies. Here is my little anchor chart that I ended up making. So elements of a biography are setting, characters, sequencing, and theme. And the first author that we learned about was Mo Willems, and we've just been following this structure. I'll have these linked down below. It's really nice because we are still focusing on text evidence. So we read it as a whole class. We just do like popcorn reading. Kids raise their hand if they want to read. I never have a kid read if they don't want to. And then we answer the questions and then find it in the text so we can like prove our text evidence. And then we also did it today for Kevin Hanks. I also read Lily's Purple Plastic Purse. Earlier this year, we read Chrysanthemum and we read Sheila Ray the Brave. So they were not as like readily familiar with him as they were with Mo Willems because they're obviously obsessed with Mo Willems. But once I like refreshed their brain that we had learned about or had read his books, they were stoked. Now is the fun part. I don't know about you guys, but my classroom is like a disaster at the end of the day on Fridays. Even when we don't do a craft and even when I have them clean up, it's like my stuff is everywhere. So I think I'm just gonna take some time to just clean and organize and make sure it's all good to go. I also want to hang our cutie math crafts, so I'm going to take our Tacky the Penguins down and hang those up. So I'm just going to do a little cleaning montage and then I'll see you guys in a little bit. I just hung them up. It's so cute and so fun. I love them. I always feel bad because when I started the year, I only had 20 kids, and then as the year went on, we've added some friends and they didn't fit, so I just kind of put them over here, but it turned out so cute. I always buy the Astro Bright paper in bulk, so that way we can do our math crafts on like this fun bright paper. I just think it really pops against the brown bulletin paper, and it just looks so cute and so happy. The kids love it. And I think the tactic of having them like show me before they can write it really goes a long way because they actually all have them right. And there's nothing more like funny than a bunch of kids having it all wrong on the actual craft. So it's looking good. Some of them look really awesome. And I think over the summer, I'm definitely gonna have to like repaper this because like this part by the sink has really gotten destroyed, but overall, they look so cute and I'm super happy about it. Only January 3rd and we've already done a Valentine's craft, but like educational Valentines. At the end of the year last year, I realized we hardly ever did any crafts. And part of the reason I love primary is like the creativity and like all of the fun things. So I've really tried to prioritize crafting this year, especially like in a way that's still like educational and still kind of like is relevant. Don't get me wrong, we still do fun crafts all the time, but whenever I can do something and tie it in some way, like in October we did our measurement monsters because we were doing our measurement unit. Now we can do our array craft for Valentine's Day. So anything like that is like how I try to infuse creativity into my like curriculum and instruction as much as possible. But yeah, I'm almost done cleaning up. I kind of got distracted like filming that and then hanging those up, and I'm crazy and I always try to make some kind of pattern if possible. But yeah, it looks good. Almost done. All right guys, I figured since it's just a daily vlog and it's already pretty short, I would just do one last thing. It's 4:30, so I definitely want to go home soon. But I still have a little bit of stamina and I'm not doing like anything later, so it's all good. I think I'm gonna change out our book display. It's kind of been a mix of things, like some January, some penguins, some Martin Luther King, some like winter, I guess, and like a little bit of Black History, I guess, like more Black History Month and Valentine's Day. But we have only like 2.5 weeks with this book display, so I guess I'll just do like a jumble of both, and like see what that ends up looking like and see how that goes. I might keep some of them on here still. Like I feel like Hair Love is good for both, like that's kind of what works for both, so I think I'll probably keep this one. But everything else has been up there either before January, it was like December and January, or it's kind of just January applicable. So I'm gonna do this really fast and then show you what it looks like, and then we are out of here. All right, you guys, this might be one of my favorite book displays I've ever done. It looks so good. I managed to fit a lot of books on there, so I'm pretty proud of that. I did President's Day, Black History Month, and Valentine's Day, like all on the same thing, and it looked pretty cute. So I took out the books that I plan on like reading to my class, so all of these are fair game, and it looks really good. I realized this bottom part has gotten kind of dingy. I painted it this summer going to my first year of teaching, and it's definitely gonna need a new coat this year, but I'm loving it. It's got a lot of my faves, a lot of really good stuff, so I'm excited for my kids to see it on Monday. They're gonna be stoked. All right, my friends, I have got to get out of here. I never stay this late on Friday, but I somehow had some energy left to do some classroom tasks. We are starting a new month and a new trait of the month next week. So we're done with perseverance and we're gonna start empathy. So I'm really excited for that. I felt like it was perfect for Valentine's Day, perfect for February, but also definitely good for this time of the year. I'm starting to notice some arguments and just, you know, when your class family starts to really feel like a family and everyone starts kind of like getting at each other. So I think it's a good refresher for our empathy tool. I am so sorry that this weekly vlog didn't really turn out, but hopefully this was a good enough for a daily vlog. This is real teaching. This is my job. So, you know, you never really know what the week is going to look like going into it, but we overall had a good week. Hopefully next week is a little bit more back to normal, like how we normally do, and we can get some more stuff done. But yeah, make sure to stay tuned, hit the red button down below, subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and like this video if you haven't. Also, make sure to leave a comment down below with any suggestions of what you're hoping to see from me or anything like that. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, all the places. It's just Golden State Educate, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye everyone. Why am I doing this? What is that?